In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do a teardown of a Sony Vaio VGN-A series laptop. I'll be replacing the spinning hard drive with a solid-state solution, removing the old CMOS battery, comparing the 15 and 17-inch models, taking a look at the multimedia dock and speakers, and finally I'll give a tour of the factory Windows XP installation with a demo of the speakers. But first, some history and specs. Released in 2004, Sony's own marketing material claimed that the Vaio A series digital studio PC delivers high performance and incredible audio-video capabilities. More than a PC, more than a TV, a feature-packed notebook that performs like an entertainment center. With the A series, you got up to a 2 GHz Pentium M, up to 2 GB of DDR RAM across 2 slots, either an ATI Mobility Radeon 9200 or 9700 with 64 MB of VRAM. For the 15-inch models, you got up to a 1400 by 1050 screen. For 17-inch, you got a 16 by 10 1920 by 1200 screen. It came with a 2.5-inch 44-pin IDE drive up to 80 GB. It came pre-installed with Windows XP and about 1 3/4 inch thick. The 15-inch model came in at 7.1 pounds and the 17-inch at 8.6 pounds. So now let's take a look around the laptop. Up front, we have our memory stick card reader, our Wi-Fi toggle button, screen latch, LED indicator lights. Along the side, we have our microphone jack, headphone jack, iLink Firewire port, USB port, and PC card slot. On the other side, we have our DVD drive. It's kind of unique that it has its eject button out of the drive itself. On this little rubber flap, we have the phone jack for our modem. Along the back, we have our 19.5 volt power jack, CPU exhaust. Then on this cover, we have 2 USB ports, Ethernet jack, analog video out, and a VGA out. Taking a look at the bottom, we have a cover over our modem, our dot connector, memory, our battery. The battery is kind of interesting. It's a standard Vaio battery that you'd normally slide into the laptop, but this one clips into the cover. So, opening the lid, we have our tiny little trackpad buttons. We have buttons for mute, volume, brightness, zoom, programmable key, power button. Our 15-inch screen. Let's do a comparison to the 17-inch model. Really, the depth is about the same. It uses the same keyboard. As you can see, it's got the extra width for that 17-inch screen. Now let's take a look at the port replicator, our dock. I have it in the original box here. This works on both the 15 and 17-inch versions, so it adds all of our multimedia capabilities. So first, the dock itself. Just some vents on the side. Our locking switch, some more ventilation on the top. And on the back, we have all of our ports. 2 USB, VGA out, DVI out, volume control input for our speakers, our left and right speaker inputs, optical output, Ethernet port, analog audio and video, including F-video, both input and output, printer port, more USB, coax antenna jack, and our DC power jack. Comes with a slide-on coax cable. Remote control, looks like this has never been opened. And finally, we have our speakers. So, starting with our left speaker, underneath the cloth grill, you can see our woofer and our tweeter. On the label on the bottom, you can see that these are the SP2 6 ohm 15 watt speakers. Our volume control on the side. Bass port on the back. And for cables, we have our volume control for the dock, and then our speaker connector. Taking a look at the other speaker, you can see this one's actually labeled right. The other one didn't have a label on the front. No label on this one, volume control. Got our bass port. For cables, we have another speaker connector, and then a USB cable. Now let's take a look at how we connect the dock. The whole plate moves when it's unlocked. Make sure our dock connector cover is open. We drop the laptop on, lock it in place, then unlock to pull it off. And finally, let's just hook the speakers up to the dock. Starting with the left speaker, we have our little 2.5mm volume input. A connection for the speaker itself. It's a little interesting that they didn't put the connector on the same side as the speaker. And now our right speaker, connecting the USB cable, and then our speaker audio. So let's get started with the teardown, beginning by removing our battery. Again, this is a common Vaio battery just clipped into this custom cover. Under this cover, we have our dial-up modem. Under this cover, we have our single DDR memory slot. And now let's remove all the screws holding on the bottom cover. They're all marked with arrows. They're mostly the same size, but there are a few that are slightly different. So next, remove the keyboard, prying up at the bottom, the little latches, being careful for the ribbon cable. And we just pull up on the clip to release the ribbon cable. Now we have one last screw holding the top cover on. So next we have two ribbon cables to remove. First this top one for the buttons, and then one for the trackpad. These are both just friction fit in without any clips. Now we can lift off our top cover. Next, let's get rid of this nickel metal hydride battery. These are the kind that can leak and do damage. And now let's take a closer look at the board. Next, let's replace our hard drive. First, we have to remove this daughter board sitting on top of it with our memory stick card reader. We need to angle this board out because it interfaces with the Wi-Fi switch and the LED light pipes. We just leave it connected and just flip it over to get it out of the way. We have a couple of screws holding on the circuit board with the ID connector. Now it's got a small connector going to the motherboard. We can just lift it straight up. It's a little bit of a complicated caddy. We got separate rails on each side, then the shield covering the connector on the back. Now I'm not going to reinstall a new drive into this machine. This is actually a non-functional laptop. In my other A130, I used one of these 44-pin, 2.5-inch ID adapters that take an M2 SATA drive. You can also get them in mSATA. Starting the reassembly, flipping the daughter board back over, making sure the Wi-Fi switch is lined up correctly. When you're installing a new hard drive, you obviously want to do that first and screw down the connector. We're installing our top cover, the screw, and the two ribbon cables. Again, these are just friction fit. Reconnecting our keyboard, we have to lift up the clip. And finally, we slot the keyboard into the top, and then the clip's grabbed on the bottom. And with that done, we just close the lid, flip it over, and we can reinstall all of our screws. Reinstall our battery, and the reassembly is complete. Next, let's power on the laptop and take a look at the BIOS. And now let's take a look at the factory Windows XP installation. This model didn't come preloaded with too much software. A recovery wizard for making discs, DVD playback software, memory stick utility, Sony notebook setup, which lets us configure some of the same options in the BIOS, see some system information. And reconfigure what the hardware buttons do. Automatic brightness control. Haven't seen this too often in this software. Configure the optical out on our dock. Taking a quick look at our hardware buttons, we have a mute button, volume up and down buttons, a zoom button that basically just changes the resolution, taking a look at the included Sony screensaver, plays music, shows a slideshow. You can disable it, that'd probably get annoying pretty quickly. Let's take a quick look at our system properties. And finally, let's check out the music capabilities of this laptop. First, we'll play some music using just the built-in speakers. Now we have our dock and speakers installed. Let's try these songs again.
But I really can't help. I know I'm not perfect, but some days I can want or work with. Baby, you make me feel nervous. If I still have you, I have purpose. It's all worth it. I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. I guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
But that's it. Thanks for watching.